Today, I want to talk to you about the best businesses that you could possibly start going into 2022, and I'll mention some that you definitely don't want to touch. Like, stay far away from these ones that I'm going to mention at the end. It'll save you a lot of pain, a lot of grief. No. A lot of stress and a lot of money. Now, before we get into it, I want to mention just a couple things prefacing this video. First, I'm posting this video in October of 2021, mid-October.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
The reason I'm doing this is because I'm a firm believer that it takes roughly 90 days before you start a new habit or a new venture. It takes 90 days before you start to see actual results from this new direction. And so when you're looking at the new year, 2022, if you start mid-October of 2021, by the time New Year's hits, you're going to start seeing results. You're already going to have built momentum while everybody else is still getting their shit together, and you are going to be miles ahead going into the new year. So that's point number one. And point number two, why am I qualified to be talking about the best businesses to start? Well, in 2017, I founded CompleteWebLaunch.com, and what we do is we design and develop websites, web-based applications, and mobile applications for clients from all over the world. And I see their metrics, I see the traffic, I see the sales, I see the bookings. And the spaces that I'm about to talk to you today come from that data. I'm not going to reveal anything that is like super secretive if you're a client, but these are the spaces that are booming and that are going to be good to go into in 2022. So let's break it down. First up is all the trades. I'm talking about plumbers, electricians, carpenters, framers, finishing work. If you have those types of skills, you are going to have work in 2022. And if you don't have those skills, but they're skills that you always wished that you had, get started now, get some education, go to school for a little bit. And then if you want to get some real world experience, these people are hiring right now because their trades, their skills are in such high demand that I know multiple clients whose calendars are booked out for months. It's insane. And you might think to yourself, well, that's just not sexy. I want to make a lot of money. And I will tell you that I know several people personally and have done the math on some clients that I don't know personally. And people are building multi-million dollar businesses off of the trades. Doesn't sound sexy, but let me tell you, there is a lot of money in these businesses. Business idea number two is specific to where the nicer houses are in your neighborhood or city or state. There are a lot of people with massive homes willing to pay for home organization services, home decor services, and holiday decor packages. People will pay you and give you a budget to go out and buy their Christmas decorations and then decorate their home and their property for Christmas. I never would have thought that that would be like a scalable business, but it turns out that it is. People who have this skill, who have a good eye for design and decor, get paid a lot of money to put up decorations and take them down every year, to go into a house once a month and reorganize the home and make sure that their organization from the previous month is how it should be. They just come in every month on retainer. It's a pretty good gig if that's one of the skills that you have and you're able to market yourself. Business idea number three is 3D printing. 3D printing is really interesting because it's no longer just for nerds tinkering around in their basement.
Why?
It's a real industry that's starting to gain traction, and you can have all sorts of different types of clients. I know people who run 3D printing farms who create movie prop replicas for people that do cosplay and comic conventions. And I know people who do 3D printing for architects and for engineering firms. What's really interesting, if you're an architect or if you're an engineering firm, you might have the software to be able to create a model. But if you want to actually see it, a scale replica or a life-size prototype of something that you've engineered, 3D printing takes a lot of skill to dial in. And so an architect or an engineering firm, unless they specialize in manufacturing as well, they're not going to want to spend the time to master this other domain on their own. And so it makes a lot more sense for them to outsource the printing to you. And so if you've ever had interest in 3D printing, or maybe you do it as a hobby, it's a real business that you can launch and quite scalable. The next two ideas are more tech heavy. So this is something that developers that are thinking about going off and starting their own business might want to consider. The first is data visualization. If you're able to analyze data, remove the signal from the noise, and put that into a visual representation that's easy to understand, there are a few unicorn companies, meaning companies that will be worth billions and billions of dollars behind this problem being solved. So this isn't just like start your own business and get out and make some money. There's a lot more risk here, but if you pull it off, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars in opportunity. And I think that's the future of data collection in the next 5 to 10 years, is being able to parse and visually display that data in a way that's easy to understand. Another great idea for a new business in 2022 is AR and VR services.
Here, check this out.
This covers everything from 3D scans of a home to do a virtual tour online of houses, to surveying with drones and creating maps. And if you're really into VR setups, if like that's what you're into already, like doing the whole flight simulator with controls, you can start a business doing this, not just for flight simulation, but everything from crane operation simulators to forklift simulators. This is a big industry that's starting to open up. And if it's something that you understand, that's a multi-million-dollar business that you can start right there. So there's a lot of other good ideas that I haven't mentioned, but those are the top ones that I wanted to cover. And now that we've gotten through those, here are the businesses that you do not want to start in 2022. Hopefully it's self-explanatory, but if you're thinking about doing these, maybe pause and rethink. First up is dropshipping. Don't touch it, especially in 2022. There's two reasons. First off, the obvious one is you're competing with Amazon. Amazon has the products that people are ordering through Prime. They're always on time or almost always on time. As a dropshipper, you're mostly relying on products being shipped from China to your customer. And so you can't compete with Amazon on speed. And right now, with all of the supply chain disruptions, you are creating a nightmare for yourself because people are going to order and it's going to be months before they receive their orders. I have ordered a few things from China knowing that they're coming from China, and it's been over a year and it's still not here. So save yourself some trouble. Do not start a dropshipping business in 2022. Next up is crypto trading. I believe that blockchain is the future of everything we do online, and you don't want to trade the future. You want to invest in it. If you're interested in blockchain and crypto, buy and hold. Don't try to trade it. You're more than likely going to lose your money.
The money in your account, it didn't do too well, it's gone.
And miss out on the biggest opportunity since the invention of the internet. Just calm down. Buy and hold. Don't try to trade it. Next is online courses. And there's an exception here, but most people thinking about launching an online course, it's not going to work because everybody's trying to do it. The reason is because it's super scalable in theory. You create the course, you put it behind the payment gateway on your website, and infinite numbers of people can sign up for it and you don't have to do anything. They just get access to your course. The problem is everybody is doing this. So unless you're one of the best in your space, then I'd say launch a course, because if you already have people that are like, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? Show me how you do this. You're going to get a lot of people buying it. But if it's just general information that can be found online, remember, most information can be found online for free. So why would somebody pay for your course unless you're like cream of the crop in your space? So stay away from the online courses. Last but not least is online personal training. This kind of overlaps with the online courses, but personal training in particular is a very hard business for people to make work for two reasons. First off, again, information is free. People can find great training videos online. So unless you are like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and you're putting your workout plan out there, people would buy that because you're The Rock. But if you're just somebody trying to become an influencer in the fitness space, it's not going to work because everybody's doing the same thing. And what makes things more difficult is you're offering a course and training for something that's very hard for people to stick to in general. Most people, when they set up a training workout plan and they decide they're going to get into shape, they give up after the first 2 or 3 weeks. So the turnover rate is extremely high in a place that's extremely saturated. So I wanted to bring up the personal training online space specifically because it's very, very hard to make it and be successful in. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. And if there's a great business opportunity I didn't mention, tell me what it was in the comments. Anyway, that's all for me today. Hope this was helpful. My name is Christopher Claflin. You can follow me on TikTok at Christopher Claflin and on Instagram, I think at the same handle. I'm never on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.